This podcast will hopefully contain words or statements of obscene, pornographic, or immoral character. You have been warned. You have been warned. You have been warned.
Okay, all right, well, I'm going to cut you off already, because once again, I don't fucking believe that... Oh, welcome to episode 47? Yes.
And we just got here. We totally just got here.
Yeah, but I just want to cut this off and say that I get shit done. I'm not fucking believing it on your coffee cup.
Oh, I get shit done. I get lots of shit done. And I don't take shit.
That's right.
I give shit. No, anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, we should bring that back around. Before we started recording, I posed the question, why is it called taking a piss and taking a shit when you're actually giving both of those things? So anyway.
Yes.
I don't know. And why don't you give a shit? If like when
Right.
things are, why don't you give a shit? What's that mean?
Yeah.
That sounds like a constipation issue.
Why wouldn't you rather give a shit?
Right?
Like, your idea sucks. So here's
I'm
a
gonna
turd.
shit on it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Here's what I think of your idea.
Pile of stinking poo.
Like, yeah, I don't... Yeah, why is it backwards? Justin, let us know.
Yeah.
Justin's our resident linguist now. Okay.
Well, he doesn't like us talking about non-music shit, so...
Oh.
Yeah,
Damn.
he gets upset when we venture into the poo realms.
Damn.
But we
That's
did
like-
also start talking about, and I stuttered a lot about that, and we actually decided to start recording because we were going to talk about unboxing videos.
Yeah.
That's right. I did watch one. Sorry, were you going to give a lead in before?
No, fuckface, you do what you want. I'll just wait here.
I
I'll
ended
raise
up
my
watching.
hand.
I ended up watching one that Kate was watching because it was Jason Momoa, and of course she's going to watch a Jason Momoa video. But he was unboxing some shoes that some quote friend of his had sent him for unboxing because he's a celebrity and everybody's going to watch him unbox shit, I guess. I don't know. And when he pulled his shoes out, I was like, those are hideous. So I have no idea where. Well, that's all I had. Sorry, you guys have more interesting stories than that, I'm sure.
What were the shoes? Do you even know what they were?
They were like dress shoes, but the type of dress shoes where you wear without socks, and they're like, I'm not a big fan of like super duper pointy shoes.
Yeah, me either.
So they were kind of that style and didn't look comfortable because they, like, I just imagined my toes all getting squished together in the end. And I'm also a big fan of wearing socks. So right there, it's like these shoes were meant for not wearing socks. They weren't, they were kind of like slip-on, but like I don't know, the material was lighter, so I think they're meant to be, like I said, worn without socks, and I just would not be able to wear them. All that foot sweat getting up in there.
You never go sockless ever?
Not usually, no. Rarely will I go sockless. Like, if I'm swimming or at the beach or something, I'll go sockless. But
If I'm in the shower.
yeah, if I'm no.
So I'm almost in the
all
same...
naked except the socks. Sorry.
Like, I don't take, like, my socks off until it's bedtime. Like, I get up and my socks come on and I roll those bitches until it's bedtime.
Yep, thank you.
Unless we're going to take a shower or... I would say go to the beach, but I don't fucking go to the beach.
Yeah.
Because I don't like
been years.
sand. Sand is lame.
It's because it gets in your socks.
Oh.
Well, you could be like the Cook brothers and go to the beach and wear your shoes and socks on the sand because they hate sand so much.
Dude, I am so in. I fucking love that.
There's nothing that like makes me smile more than when pictures of Bob Cook pop up on Instagram at Ocean City and he's like lounging on the beach, but he's got his shoes and socks on.
All right, so at that point, I might be rocking flip flops.
Is he wearing a hoodie and jeans too?
Probably, yeah. He like definitely does not have swim trunks or anything on. He's just like his normal, like whatever he's wearing that day is also what is on the beach. That's weird about the sock thing though, because I normally would be team socks, and I always liked like the style of no socks, but I could never personally do it because my feet would get sweaty from skating or just like whatever.
Yeah.
Just like it's just nasty for your feet to sweat. However,
What if you got the wrong sock shoe combination, which can happen?
yeah, that can definitely happen. That definitely sucks. But one thing that I figured out though is I got back into. I've been wearing pretty much the same Vans for over a decade now, which are the Era Pros that are like the 4-hole lace-up ones, like the skate version of those. They just look like the classic Van like shoe basically. And years ago I wore slip-ons for a while, and I just kind of got out of them. And then I saw this pair of Van slip-ons that I really liked. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try slip-ons again, see if I like them again, and I got them. And I was wearing them with socks for a while, and I was like, man, I don't know, these feel weird with socks. And I started wearing them without socks, and I was like, oh, so I kind of figured out that what works for me is slip-ons and no socks. But if I'm wearing any other shoes but slip-ons, I still have to wear socks. But for some reason with these particular Van slip-ons, I can go sockless and they feel really, really good.
So is it just because of the tightness across like I want to say the bridge of your foot, but across the top, or is it just?
I think that's part of it. When I was wearing socks with these Vans, they just felt too tight, and they weren't like really broken in yet either, so that probably wasn't helping. But yeah, when I took the socks off, they just felt more comfortable. And this is probably why you guys also like socks all the time, is I can't stand when your foot's in a shoe sockless and you can like feel seams or like threads or something in there.
Threads or any little dirt that may have gotten
imperfection.
in there.
Yeah.
Or they're so old that the insole's starting to fucking fold up in them.
Oh,
Any of that shit. So yeah, for like that reason, I almost always like to wear socks. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason these particular slip-ons, I've been able to go sockless for the first time in a really long time, and it's actually pretty nice. I kind of dig it.
I'm bringing it back to shoes.
which is funny because that's not the original.
No.
Anyway,
I'm going to get to my answer about unboxing, but
Okay, sorry.
you talked about Jason Momoa opening these ugly ass shoes.
Well, hold on. I'm going to interrupt you because, Fred, do you not listen every week? Have you not realized how bad both of our ADD is? You act surprised by us changing topic 15 times.
And we're still not talking about music, Justin. So
Yeah. But we're not talking about poop. So that's,
Yeah,
No,
there you
I
go.
mean
We're trying.
because these shoes look like poop. So there is a collab going on, which that's a whole nother thing. When you do something with somebody else, it becomes an official collab? Like I watched the Street Style thing on HBO, and you're always trying to get the sign off in the collaboration with these people, and it's like, like Suicidal's always had a fucking Dogtown skate deck. It's like all of a sudden they're like selling these things, and it's like, dude, it's always been there.
Yeah,
Not that the
gotcha.
Suicidal collab, but like everybody's doing shit with shirt companies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick Ewing, I guess, has a shoe line, and they have done a collaboration with, I guess, Shooter Jennings or the Waylon Jennings people, and they have these fucking old school high tops, and they're ugly as fuck.
I can only
wanted
imagine
them-
what these look like.
Dude, they are so fucking ugly. And it's like, dude, I came by them just to say I have them because they're so fucking ugly. Like I regret like when he stopped touring. Waylon Jennings, that is, not Patrick Ewing. Like they sold his shit off of his website. Like you could have bought his guitar rigs, everything.
Really?
Like it was all for sale on his website when he stopped touring.
No way.
I was like, fuck. Even if I'd have got something stupid, like that's so I was like, I'm always I'm clamoring to get back to that spot because we all have our country heroes. Well, not everybody, but these shoes are so fucking ugly. Not that I had high hopes for them. Like when they showed them, I'm like, holy fuck, that's ugly. Like who the fuck wears those?
Oh, someone's screen sharing.
Right.
Oh,
Can you see them?
I can see
Damn.
them, yeah.
it's like a
Look-
steal.
We're
These
looking at the
bitches.
Patrick Ewing, Waylon Jennings collab sneakers.
Yeah, we need a close up of that.
I'm
design.
working on it, man. This is fucking podcast gold.
Wow, what the fuck is going on there?
What?
Man, I like how the the picture of him in his jump shot wearing shoes is not the pair of shoes that they're trying to sell.
Oh my god! So yeah, they were. I was like, what? The collab kind of threw me off altogether, but then it was like, I was like, they're ugly as shit. Like where
You
am
know
I
what?
rocking?
These like look to me like a shoe that they put out through Walmart to try to make it like Walmart had a cool shoe for sale that was
totally
like
right,
hip
yep.
and popular.
Oh,
You nailed it.
nailed it! All right, so now we're done trashing Waylon's shoes, which makes me sad. So unboxing videos.
All right.
I do watch unboxing videos. Yeah, we brought that back around in a really
Boom.
strange way. If I've got a product that I might have bought an open box for, and I'm like, am I missing something? So I'll watch the unboxing because I'm a cheap whore, and if I can get fucking $50 off my air conditioner because it was open, I'll watch the unboxing video just to make sure that I got all the parts I need. But
Yeah.
besides that, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah, it's
I
kinda
don't like
weird.
people that much.
Like I said, I guess I can understand the allure of watching those, but I don't personally find them enjoyable. I just think it's kind of weird. I don't know.
No,
It's like
I'm
those
totally
videos
with you.
of those videos of people playing video games that the kids all love to watch. It's like, oh my god, I had to do that. My friend had an Atari, and I'd go over to play Atari with him, and I'd end up watching him play Atari for 2 hours, and then the when he finally was like, hey, you want your turn? I of course didn't have an Atari, so like I died within 20 seconds, and he was like, okay, it's my turn again.
Oh no!
Another 2 hours later.
Dude,
Your friend pisses me off. I want to fight that guy.
I totally know where you are at on this. Because we were never like, I think we got Atari after everybody else was getting fucking Nintendos and shit. Like
Right.
we were a step fucking behind.
And on top of that, Atari came with the standard joystick. He had, like, when he was playing, he got like the step up one, the super joystick with all the little extra buttons and shit. So he was like doing all this crazy shit. He gives me the janky ass joystick that, it really doesn't work really well when you push forward or sideways.
Did you ever play Decathlon on fucking the Atari?
No.
So this game was fucking brutal because to make your guy go run, you need to move the joystick back and forth. So left, right, left, right, left, right,
I do
left, right.
remember. Well, I remember games where you had to do that. I don't know if I
And
remember that.
I remember getting the biggest fucking blisters from
On the
fucking
palm of your
putting-
hand?
yeah, palm of my hand on top of the controller, moving it back and forth because my masturbation skills weren't at
I
where
was
they
gonna
should have
say,
been. But it was like back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And it was like you just get the biggest fucking blisters on your hand because you're trying to go super fast and you suck.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, I have a a similar joystick story, but it was from Commodore 64 days. And I had a floppy 5 1/4 floppy disk of the game Skate or Die. I think that was like and that eventually came out on the Nintendo, the original Nintendo NES system. But before it came out on that, it was a computer game, and you used a joystick with it. So the joystick I had was kind of like sort of what Fred was describing. It was more of like an upgraded computer joystick for the time. I mean, this was probably like 86 or something, but 87. But I remember there was a section of this game Skate or Die where it's a high air contest on a vert ramp. And so the way you played this particular section is you would drop in, and as soon as you dropped in, you had to do what Curtis was just describing with the joystick, where you like move it back and forth super fast.
Jerking it off, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But what I figured out with the joystick I had is that if you did the joystick stem in a circular motion, it would build up way more momentum when you'd be in like the pump zones of the ramp, because you had to like hit these pump zones, and that's how you build up your, like basically like pumping for real in the video game. Like you'd hit the A button or something in these zones and you'd build up speed, and then at the apex of your air you do like a big like method tweak, and that would, you get like your that's where it would measure your air after like 6 pumps or something.
Damn. This sounds like foreplay suddenly.
Totally.
You're really good at it.
It really does. Well, it's funny too because the joystick had like a ball on the tip of it too, so it was very phallic looking. But so I figured out that if I did the joystick in like a fast circular motion, I could get way more speed. So I had this whole technique, dude, where I'd hold the joystick sideways, where I could hit the button with my thumb, and then I'd like drop in. As soon as I drop in, I was like, like this, like so fucking
There's
fast.
a lot of women.
Wax on,
Yeah, like
Women's
total,
ears are perking up right now.
Yeah, like supersonic speed, wax on, wax off, and the joystick was super loud. It'd be like, like so fast. But dude, I would get that thing going so fucking fast that I don't even like. I think I would glitch the game out, because like the dude would go fucking out of the screen. He would like disappear out of the top of the screen, and I would just like get to the point where I would like time when to hit the button just based on where I thought he was, like out of the screen. But anyway, I would get these gigantic fucking blisters in the middle of my right hand from fucking doing that, like when I first figured it out. But I eventually got calloused up.
Nice.
And I was doing
gloves.
like, yeah,
Served you well in later life.
yeah.
Later in life.
Well, you know what? I probably should have worn a glove. That probably would have been the smart thing.
You probably
to do.
had like a Michael Jackson glove.
I did have a Michael Jackson glove, but it was left-handed only, I believe. So, of course.
Not your dominant.
Yeah, no,
hand.
not that's my stranger side.
Holy shit. So
But
we're
yeah.
all here tonight to discuss the shows.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm an old man, so I may have forgotten details, so hopefully this all brings stuff back.
Oh my lord, you're supposed to be the Rock. Jonathan was fucking microdosing. Oh, that was
No, I wasn't. I wish.
No.
oh my god.
That's one thing I. Or wait, no, I did microdose. Not at those shows though, but I did get to microdose on the trip a little bit.
Yeah. You offered some to me, and I had to decline, unfortunately, mostly because it's been so long, and well, it's been so long, so I didn't know how it affect me, and I didn't want to not be able to drive the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have been bad. I would have loved. Okay, so I'm already going to flash forward to the most bizarre breakfast possible.
Oh,
I've never felt.
Oh yeah.
It's been a long time that I've felt that out of place somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, set that whole story up, because that was a pretty cool part of the weekend.
So we all stayed at an Airbnb that Kate got for us, and so we got up Sunday morning and we're ready to roll. And they had this place that they wanted to go to. I was already eyeing
this
up
is
the
in
IHOP.
Cumberland, by the way. This is in
Yeah,
Cumberland.
well, I think we ended up, which is crazy because I can tag on to this. Is So we end up going to this fucking place. I don't even know how you found it. Did you pass it on the way to Frostburg?
No, I was like, we need some breakfast. I'm going to Google breakfast places in the area that are open. And it was literally just the closest one that wasn't, Taco Bell or something. Yeah, that was
Do you remember the name of
my
it?
criteria. Ah, shit.
I think it's called the El Kabong.
Kabong.
No, I just looked it up actually because I couldn't remember the name of it. It was Klein's restaurant.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So we strolled into Klein's, and the look started, I think, as soon as we got the fuck out of our car. Like, it just felt not very welcoming.
Yeah, well, it was that. Yeah, exactly. It was like that scene from Weird Science where they walk in the bar and like the fucking needle goes across the record and all the people turn around, like look at them, like, what the fuck are you guys fucking doing in here?
Yeah, so we totally, I don't know if it was Blythe's flaming, I don't even know what color her hair was. Is it pink?
It was a pink,
Or-
red, yeah. Pink,
Yeah, or whatever. I don't
Very
know if
bright
that
pink.
was it, but holy shit, the eyes were on us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think the pink hair probably was a big part of it, but honestly, like we weren't even like dressed like crazy or anything. It's like we had like PJ clothes on basically, like hoodie. Everyone just kind of like hoodies and like sweatpants on or something. So it wasn't even like we were rolling in with like studded out leather jackets or something.
Right.
But I guess like hoodies and sweatpants to people who wear Wranglers and fucking flannels every day of their life is probably a weird costume.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah, it was. But everything was good. We ate, and the fucking funniest thing to me, if you guys can fill back in on if I'm missing anything great from the
meal
breakfast.
itself.
But the funniest thing was, as we're sitting out there waiting for everybody to get ready to leave, this guy comes up and starts talking to us because we're talking about fucking birds, and all of a sudden he like jumps in our conversation. And they were like staring us down, or his woman was staring us down basically the whole fucking time we were eating, because they showed up like right when we did and they left when we did. But out of the blue, this guy just rolls up and starts talking to us like we're old. And it's not even old friends, but it was like very friendly local. But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
inside the restaurant, it was such a different vibe. It was like,
I guess we
why are
passed
you
the stare
here
test. I don't know.
to, hey, there's a train that goes here to here, and you can see all the eagles you want. It was just, it was so bizarre.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, to be fair, like how often does like a large group of people even go in there, and it's like people with varying ages and just, yeah, I don't know. It's just I could see where we threw them for a loop, but it was also kind of like, have you never ever ever watched TV before and seen someone who doesn't look exactly like you?
Yeah. Could also have been like, as soon as we went in, we got very excited about the menu because there was the
Oh yeah.
shit on the shingle was there. And,
Yes.
Well,
all
that
the
could be it
deals.
too.
And
So they were like,
the
"Oh,
service
these
there
people."
was really good too. I mean, the food was amazing, the service was good, and it was so fucking cheap, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. Where can you get shit on like a home cooked shit on a shingle meal with coffee for like under $10?
I thought it was like $6.35 or something stupid like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's
was
And
like,
it
how
wasn't
is
tiny.
this-
It was a good portion. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, that was cool. That was definitely a highlight of the non-show part of the weekend, was going to Klein's for breakfast. One of my favorite parts of that whole trip was a weekend before when
Oh,
Fred and I
fuck
got
off.
wasted at Matt Powell's house. Yeah, let's bring it
That
back
was
up so
pretty
we
awesome.
can fucking double
Bringing that back
team
up,
him.
Jesse.
Oh, fuck you.
Fucking crybaby Curtis.
Yes. Let's give thanks. Let's give thanks to Matt Powell, both for the
Yeah,
awesome tequila
definitely.
and for actually coming and showing up to one of our shows in Baltimore. That was
Eberhard
pretty sweet.
and-
Him and Dave and
The King Mafia.
Yeah, it was definitely lots of people came out that
was
I
pretty
wasn't
awesome.
sure if they would come out, so it was cool that they did. And yeah, so Fred and I had a really good time getting drunk on tequila while Curtis was bummed and had to sit there.
And I know that it's just payback. I get it. I fucking get it.
It wasn't intentional payback, but I got to a point where I was buzzed enough where I was like, well, fuck it, I gotta keep going, man.
It's probably like at least 8, would you say?
I would say about 8.
At least 8. Yeah, at least 8. And there was a mezcal in there too.
That was the one I wanted. Like, that was the one, like, I was jealous of. I was like...
Well, I remember, I think we talked about this last week, but I remember coming over to you and he was just like, he's fucking trying to get you to leave already. Fuck him. Like, it's like, don't listen to him. yeah. Don't look at him.
Like, I'm trying not to look him in the eye.
and then you did say something like, yeah, like, I fucking drove his drunk ass home for so many years. He's like, this is what he gets, or something like that.
Or had to deal with it just in general, even if it wasn't driving him. There were times where you got very drunk and it was just like, I remember after one of the shows in New York, you got so drunk that you laid down in a parking spot outside, and I was like, dude.
I believe Aaron and I did.
Yeah, I think both of you, you're right. It was pretty incredible. It's like, God damn
Staring
it.
at the stars. That was that weird show where they had, like, the fucking, like, platform above us, I think.
Yep.
Like, they had, like, a tier above us.
Yep.
Like out in, like, a balcony almost.
I don't remember this at all. What was this show?
Like, it was like a little bar in Long Island.
Yep.
And we played with no redeeming.
No redeeming. Endangered Feces, which is still my favorite band name. That's the band where the drummer stood up halfway through the set and we're like, okay, the drummer's going to do something. He pisses in a cup and drinks it.
Dude, you know what? I kind of remember that now. I remember that dude drinking that piss.
Yep.
And I think 2-man advantage also.
Oh, and that was the hockey. Well, they all wore hockey jerseys and they were the ones up in that balcony area, the platform area. Like, it was very menacing. Pretty sweet, you know.
Yeah, I can't recall that club at all. I remember that show bits and pieces, but yeah, I don't remember that place whatsoever. That's crazy.
Yeah, I totally don't remember. I remember staring at the stars with Aaron. So we must have got fucking shit-faced hammered on the way there, which doesn't surprise me. But yeah, like, I remember bits and pieces of that one.
Well, so I guess as far as the shows themselves, one thing that I found kind of humorous from my perspective was before we played, I couldn't really get a real read on Fred, but you were definitely like, you were so fucking nervous.
Oh, I was, yeah. Oh, fuck, dude.
Glad I was hiding it then, because I was like, all day I was like, you know, I couldn't sit still. I couldn't concentrate on anything because I tried to work that day. But it was like, if it wasn't busy work, I couldn't do it. Like, if I had to actually read or figure out something, it was like, oh, that's wait until Monday.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I don't know. It's like I was curious about talking to you guys about your perspectives on leading up to that first, like the day of that first show, because like I wasn't nervous at all. I was more just excited. Enthusiasm was kind of like my feeling about it. But I also like play shows all the time still, and you guys haven't like played in a long time. So yeah, it was just kind of like stepping back into that after a long hiatus.
So, and it was funny is I think the two that have been the longest removed from anything were the ones like responsible for setting everything up and all of that shit on Friday night. So it was so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, so once we got there, like the playing nerves got put on hold because we were trying to set everything up and get like the PA set up, and you know, we didn't really give it a good work through before we actually hooked it up and turned it on. And me standing in the fucking foyer screaming into the mic, you know, that wasn't the best, you know, trial run of the system. But so once that was done, then yeah, the fucking nerves kicked right back in.
Oh, really?
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. Eberhard 2 weeks prior was telling Amanda, he's like, yeah. I was like, but once you started playing, it went away, and he's like, nah. And I'm like, oh Jesus
helping.
Christ. Yeah, it was fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I guess those guys are kind of in the same boat as you guys. I mean, because I don't know how much any of those guys were still maybe jamming here and there, but that was their first show back in a long time, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what Brian, because I said something about playing guitar. He's like, I was lucky I played guitar like fucking, I think he said it was like, once a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but now I've got my licks back and he plays all the time again. I'm like, well, I was like, I don't know, dude. It's still, I don't know. Matt was trying to be very positive, but
Right.
I'm not used to Matt being positive. So
That was interesting. Yeah.
And
That is a new angle to get used to.
yeah. Once again, I don't remember Rhodes being nice. So either I totally misremember him, or I mean, he's grown
You
up.
guys, well, I think it's a little of both. I think that growing up a little bit more, yes, but also that you guys had a very unique relationship, I think, compared to, I'd say, like, the relationship you had with him is kind of like how his relationship is with Matt Powell. Those are, like, similar in some ways, and then, like, kind of like people outside of that, he's a little bit different and nicer, I believe. There's just something about the groupings of you guys that, I don't know, it's just different. Because, I mean, he was always really cool to me and, like, was never really a dick. I mean, like, busting balls and stuff, but not like
and
how
that's
he
what it
was
is.
with
it's
you.
more busting balls than anything. It's like, because I guess we spent a lot of time together. So it was pretty, a lot of the walls were broke down and we could be assholes and it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It was weird. So when we went to see Brian play the week after the shows, the fact that I was standing there and I looked at Amanda and I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is pretty much my first band minus a guitar player. Because I was there, Matt was standing beside me, and Heath was standing there too.
Oh, no shit.
I was like, holy shit, that's really weird. But once again, I miss Heath's band because how the fuck was I supposed to know Heath's band was playing?
Oh, I didn't even know his band was playing. What's his band?
I don't remember the name of it. I can't remember. To that point exactly, I was like, I don't know the name of his. I didn't know it was the name of his band.
Oh, there goes
I was
the
like,
plug
son
for his
of a
band.
bitch.
What did they sound like? What art? Like,
I missed.
Oh,
them.
you missed them.
That was part of that story. Yeah, because we didn't know they were playing, and it was Blythe's prom.
Oh, right.
So we stayed, and until they left, and then we went straight to Frederick. I mean, we could have left earlier if I knew he was playing. Like, because we weren't doing a whole fucking lot. We were standing there shooting the shit, watching the girls act crazy as they do.
yeah. So Fred, were you like, what was your nervous level compared to Curtis? Do you think you were more nervous than him, less nervous than him?
Probably. Well, I was pretty nervous, but I don't know that I was.
Because he kind of seemed like a wreck to me.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to get him on some meds right now.
Yeah, I
Oh
wasn't
my
so
God.
bad that I couldn't play or anything.
Yeah.
Well, not that you were so bad that you couldn't play, because you brought it pretty quick when things started rolling.
What I can tell you is that my fucking cardio did not pay off. I was fucking gassed. Night 2, much better.
Yeah.
Night 2, much better. But the crowd was different. Oh, so this, I guess we can actually talk about shit like this now.
Yeah.
Like, the difference between the crowds in Baltimore versus Frostburg. I mean, it was actually really cool to do both. Well, I'm not bitching about either show because they're both fucking awesome. But like fucking Baltimore was beat down, girls throwing fucking haymakers,
Yeah.
and like Frostburg was more people our age, which we were hoping to get for the Baltimore show, but that didn't really happen. But it was okay because we got a mix of both.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically how I summed it up when Trisha asked me about stuff, I was like, Friday night was the young kid beatdown show, and Friday night was the casual old people show, or Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah. So it's like both have equal amounts of goodness.
Right. I feel like, as far as the nervousness, bring it back to the nervousness, like the first 2 songs especially, I could tell that, like, with my playing, like, my fingers weren't going where they were supposed to, because I was just, like, still getting used to it. So it took me till about the 3rd song before I was, like, shaking it off, and got to the point where I was like, okay, I can move around and play and actually somewhat sound. Now, I will say, when I listened to the recording of it or watched the video on YouTube, I was like, oh, I was fucking up a lot.
I like kind of skimmed through that video a little bit, but I didn't really listen for any kind of like details yet. So
Right.
So why'd you fuck up, man?
Well, the moment, trying to look cool and
Looking cool is always way more important than sounding good.
especially when you're a
Absolutely.
bass player. You guitarists, you actually have to hit notes. Bass player, as long as there's some like deep sound beneath it, we're fine.
Dude, well, all I have to say is one of the funniest things of the whole weekend was the bass player of Constituents
Yeah.
talking to me after the show and going on about how much of a shredder guitar player I am. And I just was like laughing at him. I'm like, bro, like I have you so fooled right now. I was like, trust me, dude, I am not a shredder, believe me. I was like, thank you, but yeah, you're way off base here.
He made me laugh because he was like, he was up drinking his beer, and we kicked out the faux United Forces, and he jumped up and came forward, and we went into Heartbreaker, and we broke his heart.
Perfect.
I will say it felt really good when we finished. As soon as we were done, I'm unplugging, and both he and Jose, the singer, came up. And we're like, we got to book some shows with you. I was just like, I'd love to. But
Yeah.
Oh, we'll play again. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it was funny. That was, I think, definitely, they were, I keep harping on the fact that, dude, they had no reason to fucking support us.
none. Yeah.
None whatsoever. Like,
They're
it was
just
really,
awesome
I think, a
guys, yeah.
favor to, Ivy and Gavin and Violet, like, just because they support them.
Right.
Like, it was really just out of, I think, a friendship with them that they did the shows.
Yeah.
And I cannot fucking, once again, can't thank them enough.
Went above and beyond. Went all the way out to Frostburg. After working all day, drove all the way out to Frostburg, played that show, and like you said last week, they rolled out before even getting paid or anything. It's just like,
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember the days of doing shit like that, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to do that anymore.
yeah, shit.
Like it's cool on occasion to do some shit like that if it's like you're getting to open for like some really cool band that you wouldn't otherwise maybe get to open for or something, like some kind of rare situation. I'd pull the trigger on doing something like that, but yeah, just for like a normal fucking show, especially playing with the same band you played the night before. That's kind of, yeah. So kudos to those guys.
Well, I don't think anybody had played that far west. Like, that was a big thing. It's just west. That's funny to even say. But I mean, they have a bunch of shows like up in York and shit like that. But I don't think they'd ever gone that far west. So I think it was it's exposure for everybody.
Another part for me of the weekend that I was like so stoked on being able to do like the 2 big like group photographs that we did of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So like we kind of got the one where it was us with like all the kids bands, and that's like now probably like one of my like favorite photos of all time that I have. It's just like it's just so cool, the generationalness of it, if that's even a word, but just, yeah, like being like getting to play shows with like these kids that I saw fucking grow up, and and then getting to take the photo with the barbed wire necktie guys, and like just old
Hey, and
friends.
kudos
And
to you guys, barbed wire necktie, for getting on the fucking Savage Mountain Punk Rock Festival.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think
Dude,
we're
well,
thinking of going out to
that fucking day that they're playing, if honestly, if I had the time to do it and the finances to do it, I would seriously fly back to go to that one day, because that is a fucking kick-ass lineup of bands. Like, well, for one thing, those guys are playing, and they sound fucking awesome still. I mean, it sounds like they've like really never stopped playing. I thought they sounded really awesome at that show, and
they did alcohol.
which was super killer. But then Mud City Manglers, if you've never listened to them, that band is super criminally underrated. I think they're like one of the best bands to come out of like that area. Well, they're from like I think they're from Pittsburgh area, but they're fucking awesome, and they're playing like I think the next slot after them, or a slot or two after them. And then Super Suckers, obviously, that's fucking cool. There's a couple other really good bands. But anyway, yeah, fucking killer lineup that day.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I felt magical in driving 3 hours, but I'm kind of lazy.
That was a cool drive, though. The drive that I said, that was a cool drive that day, though, because I remember the weather was really kind of crazy. We thought we were going to get super dumped on with rain, and we actually kind of ended up avoiding it for the most part.
Oh, you guys got lucky then. Yeah, we were in the rain the whole time. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It was like, looked at the radar on my phone app, you know, and you see the strip of green, and you're like, oh, it's just a strip. Eventually we'll get through it. It must have been moving with us, though, because it was just pretty much the whole time. It was not until we almost got to Cumberland that it actually cleared up.
So, what were your thoughts in playing live with the old crew again?
Old
Me?
crew being us, or old crew
Yeah,
being
us.
Okay.
That would be us, Fred.
Okay.
The question was to Jonathan, not you. Well, you could answer it too. How did it feel to be reunited?
Oh, no. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I can't say enough good things about how fun the weekend was. And honestly, even for me, too, just the fact of, you know, like a year and a half ago or whenever we decided to kind of do this again. And that was just exciting in itself to,
Right.
you know, like just say we were going to do that. And then when we actually started practicing and being consistent with that, and just, you know, like leading up to this, I was practicing guitar more for those shows than I have in like a really long time. I mean, I don't even really play guitar that much anymore. Maybe 2-3 times a week at the most, probably. And for these shows, I was practicing a lot more than that. And yeah, I don't know, it was just like really fun to play. I mean, I pretty much didn't forget how to play most of those songs, but just like relearning them better and playing them better now than I even did back in the day. That was a fun little experiment. But then, yeah, like leading up to the shows like a week or two before, and coming back, and just, yeah, I don't know, just everything about it was super fun and awesome and exciting. And yeah, it was cool to just play those songs again. And I feel like, honestly, we actually are a better band now than we were back then from like a playing standpoint. Like I think maybe if we were practicing more in person and stuff, I think we could get even tighter. But I think that we at least played as good, if not a little bit better, at these shows than we did ever back in the day.
I agree.
I think I agree too.
Yeah.
Like I think we were definitely, I don't know if it was just pent up or whether it was just, you know, age and
musical spooge.
kind of, we knew what we were supposed to do,
Yeah.
or we'd been through the motions and it was, you know, riding the bike again.
Yeah, I think as was like getting back on the bike. And I mean, honestly, I think a big part for me that was really exciting, that I really wasn't expecting, is that for me to have such a connection again to like playing through my old rig. Well, I mean, it's technically your head, but basically I'm playing the exact same setup. So yeah, I think knowing I was coming back and was going to play that amp, I knew that, but I didn't really think much more than that. Like, oh, I'm going to play that amp because that's what's available to play. Not really even thinking like, oh shit, this is like our sound. And I haven't played through my amp out here in years. So I forgot what it even sounded like to play with like the Bomb Threat Cravin Mooreheds sound. So that night when we got to Matt's to practice and I plugged in and turned that on, it was just, yeah, it was like being reunited with what.
Okay, so I have to step in here. You guys, there's no way that he is going to describe how much of a nerdgasm he had over fucking playing fucking Eberhardt's guitar and through that amp.
Yeah.
Like, he gasmed everywhere.
He did.
It was so fucking funny.
The paper towels
I have
were
never
out.
seen-
You're wiping down walls.
Yeah, it was pretty dramatic. I wasn't, I guess I wasn't expecting that the tone to like touch me so much of like, oh my God, like this is, and like I've just been playing so many different amps since I've moved out here that I don't like, maybe I feel like I've just gotten so far away from like what is my quote unquote core sound as a guitar player that I just like forgot that it was even a thing. And it's like once I plugged in and was playing, I was like, oh my God, like this is the sound that is my sound. And like I forgot this is my sound. And then like that guitar just played so perfect and just I couldn't have been more stoked on my rig for those shows. I think that was a big part of what really helped me to be confident in playing too, was just I was so happy with having my old sound back that it would just made me so fired up to play.
So to me, I think, well, besides the fact I almost died after the third song, I think, in Baltimore, I was like, yeah, we can cut this set fucking short by 1,000,000 and I'd be so happy.
I do feel like we played the longest, but anyway, go ahead.
We might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have. But anyway, what I was gonna say is once we started playing and I saw you two, I knew it was game on.
Yeah.
Like it took a little bit to, I don't know, I didn't watch the video because I'm weird like that. Like I want to watch it, I really fucking want to watch it, but I don't know if I can. But as soon as I saw the two of you like flanking me, I was like, fuck yeah, it's on. And then I fucking blew my load after song 3 and it was over.
Yeah.
I definitely think I remember like you like multiple times you saying about cutting the set short and you're like, I'm making tired comments and stuff. And I think I just kept saying, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh yeah, nobody is gonna let me fucking go. It was yeah.
Oh no, hell no.
I'm like, we can cut that song, and we'd still be good. People were happy and were into it, so I was okay with cutting and leaving before I blew my voice out. And I don't know if I was. I'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, just real quick, that both nights, I don't think anybody ever was bored, even though we played the longest out of all the bands. No one looked bored. No one left. You know, there was no attrition of people, you know. Anyway, so go ahead.
Hey, I think they have free hot dogs outside. Let's go look. Hey, are they getting high out back? I'm going. Oh my God, the fact that I actually saw people smoking fucking blew my mind.
Oh,
I guess
God,
I am
yeah.
out.
Yeah, that first night when they, like, propped open the back door and it was coming in, we were like, Jesus Christ, close that shit.
Like smoking cigarettes, you mean?
Regular cigarettes,
Yeah,
so it
gotcha.
was just brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I guess because they don't smoke it. They smoke outside, but it's it's not part of the shows anymore. So it's not like we were talking about the one time, that old 930 smell, where you have like fucking 1,000 packs of cigarettes, jammed into the fucking rafters.
And Curtis made the most awesome T-shirt that we have ever had. and I've ever seen. And those of you listening need to look and you know, hit us up and buy it, because it is fucking
I was
awesome.
gonna say we still have some.
I meant to. This is one thing I forgot to do. The second night, I started counting off our songs, and I kind of lost track. I meant to, like, after the third song, say, "Okay, you made it through three songs. You're now super fans. Go buy something."
So Fred's admitting it's his fault we didn't sell much shit.
Yep, totally my fault. Yep, all on my shoulders.
Fucking, we didn't even put shit. We barely put stuff out the first night.
Right.
Like, we kind of had it laying beside the PA. You did much better on fucking Saturday night. But, so that's funny because when the Circle Jerks played whatever, I guess last year, there was a fucking line the whole time. But like the Gorilla Biscuits, I don't even think there was a fucking line at any point. Like, if you were more than 5 or 6 people deep and that was about it.
I mean, I guess just be grateful that people are even there watching you.
Dude, I think we said that the fact that there were people there, the fact that there were chicks fucking throwing haymakers in Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, that shit made me happy.
That was awesome.
That pit was fucking scary, dude. Like not even I'm old and don't get in the pit anymore. It was like, that would have been some terrifying shit like when we were younger.
Oh yeah.
You know what? It fucking reminds me of like the fucking Rortan shows and shit, where there'd be like 8 of us in the fucking pit, and you could just, and it was like more like gunning up to just plow whoever you were aiming up, whether it be Gene, and then you come back and get you, or like aiming up and eyeing up Phil. You know, it was like, that's what it was like. I think it's like their little place, so they can be as vicious as they want to.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool. Like I got in there a couple times, but I do the safe old guy moves. Like I definitely scan all possible trajectories of every person in there before I step in, dip my toe in for about 4 seconds, and then get out of there before I get clobbered.
I saw you doing the shovel. That was pretty awesome.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that was a big hit. I fucking
yeah.
the young kids were all about stealing that move.
I think Blythe and Nicole did that at the fucking at prom.
Did they?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So
You inspired them.
That is
going
cool.
back to our the how we played and so forth, I just wanted to and us being better than we were years ago. I just want to throw in that when I was practicing leading up to it, I was totally like playing the bass lines, being going and going, you know, this is kind of boring. I'm going to change this a little bit. So I actually, like 4 or 5 of the songs, I altered the bass line just to make them more interesting. And I think at one point you had mentioned it. You may not have even noticed it until we actually played the shows. That like, oh, you went up an octave on that.
No, I definitely heard a
like-
lot of different stuff you were doing. Like, yeah, I mean, like you said, I think everybody kind of just older and different perspectives. Like, oh, like the
Right.
shit we were playing back then that we thought was the bee's knees. Like now we have more musical experience. Like maybe it wasn't as bee's knees as we thought it was. And we
But
should
it is
like,
now because it's fucking awesome.
yeah, definitely. Well, I think another thing too, I mean, honestly, like for me, just over the years of getting better about playing more with, I guess, like feel versus like not everything has to be like lightning fast all the time. I remember that's something Matt and I kind of talked about when we very first decided to start playing again. And I remember even having a text conversation with him, like individually from all of us, and just being like, hey, if we're going to do this, like you and I need to like sort like basically like I play a lot differently now. And like, I want to make sure that we like slow stuff down a little bit. Cause like back in the day, we played stuff like way too fast sometimes.
Yeah.
And that was sometimes my fault for starting stuff too fast. And,
Raise my hand on that one because I definitely started like blood fart. I started way too fast the first night. So Matt was like really making sure that I played it slower the second night, which worked out beautifully because I was fucking up the bass line the first night because it was too fast. But
Yeah.
the second night I had that, what was really funny is he was like, Fred, slow it down. This beat. And he showed me. And then the two of you started talking to the crowd. And it was like, in my mind, I'm like trying to keep it, concentrate on what this beat should be.
Gotcha.
And you were like, shut up so I can start this before I forget how slow I can play it.
That's awesome. But yeah, I think all that is a big part of why I think we are better now is just the tempo of songs are like more in the pocket than they probably were back in the day. Everything's got a little bit more groove to it. Even though it's faster, it still has groove that it didn't have before, I think.
Right.
I'll buy that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all cool stuff. But I do, before I forget, I have a special announcement because I was saving it for this episode because I knew we were going to talk about the shows and stuff. So this is going to be news for you guys too, but I know we kind of have talked about this a little bit. I finally have kind of like looked into seeing how to make it happen, but probably in like another week, all the Cravin Mooreheds discography will be on streaming services.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so I know I've definitely been getting some feedback and some requests to like put that stuff on streaming. So hopefully in about another week that will all be available for all you digital people out there.
Yep. Non-merch buying motherfuckers.
Well, to be fair, yeah, fuck those non-merch buying motherfuckers. But to be fair, only one of the things we actually ever put out is actually available to purchase. So the other two things
We gave out free.
or just were never even really available. So
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, I'll probably make a post on. I'm sure we'll post on Instagram when that's official that's available.
Wow.
So yeah, anybody who wants to get their Cravin Mooreheds fix on can do that now in the digital realms out there.
Yeah.
They'll make it a lot
So
easier for me to play along with now too. So.
Yeah, totally.
So will the dim stuff? How are you going to do that?
Oh well, so I've already got all that figured out. So don't you worry about that.
It's gonna be
All right. Well, I'm done. I'm done worrying about it.
Don't you
So,
worry.
I think I mentioned this to Curtis, but I think we should all like save up our cabbage and make a trip out to San Diego, and you set up some shows out there.
Oh, that would be.
And you have to work the fucking door.
Set up the sound system, all that shit.
I mean, we could definitely do it. I mean, it would honestly be really easy for me to set up some shows out here if you guys.
Constituents said they go with us.
They're driving though. They have to work that day, so.
That's awesome.
No, dude. Because when we were talking to the bass player, I was like, we should get him to set us shows. And he's like, we're there. Ready to go.
Dude. Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how serious you are, but if you guys ever wanted to come out here, we could definitely play some shows out here.
I'm sure.
West Coast shows.
Yeah.
I have vacation time. I'm good.
Oh, aren't you? Fancy?
So yeah, I think it's cool that the shows happened, and I'm definitely stoked. And I'm stoked I'm stoked to do it again. I definitely was like that in my mind. I was like, that was just the start of the comeback.
So Heather said that they are building a 2-stage venue, the record store in Hagerstown. That they're putting a 2-stage type venue in somewhere. And I've also seen where there's a place in Martinsburg that like bands are playing.
All right.
So we're on the watch. We might even get local. It'll be crazy. I don't know though. I kind of like what we did.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like there's no reason we can't do. I think maybe 3 shows would probably be about the limit, but I mean, there's no reason we can't do 3 shows in a row too, or do 2 and then 1 the following weekend or something.
Yeah. Maybe your lady will make it out this time.
Yeah.
Instead of showing up the day after the shows.
Yeah,
Man, that wasn't purposeful.
she was definitely bummed, but she's also just so immune to like my shit that like she's just like been there, done that. But yeah, she was bummed.
God.
She definitely wanted, because I mean, she never saw Cravin Mooreheds back in the day and everything, so that was definitely something.
Well, I was blown away that Kate, well, though we do think she might have got to a mat stock, had never seen us either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that may have been her first 2 shows of ours. She did not remember ever seeing us, so if she did make it out the mat stock, she either missed us or left before we could play or something along those lines.
Interesting. Yeah, I did not know that. Wow.
Or we were so unmemorable that she just blocked it out of her memory. That's also a possibility.
So what you're saying is for the week after those shows, you were basically in the same league as Jason Momoa in her mind.
Oh, fuck yeah.
With your bass rock godness in full effect.
Totally. Now, if you ask
my
her, she'll be
God.
like, "Who? What?"
That is
That
so
dude.
wrong.
Oh, yeah, he lives with me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh my
As
God.
Trisha will always say in situations like that, leftovers again.
Nice.
Shit.
Oh,
What was it?
yeah, I was definitely riding a high after those shows for at least a week. I was like, man, that was awesome. I want to do it again. I just could not. Like, leading up to the shows, super nervous. After the shows, was like, damn, I can't do it again. This
Yeah,
needs to
I'm
happen all the
actually-
time now.
Fucking same boat. Like, I was totally ready to keep fucking my cock out.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because you wouldn't see it. It gets stuck.
Yeah.
But I have been trimming my jungle, but now that...
Everybody rolling on that dopamine flood after the show.
Yeah, that was
Fuck
pretty sweet.
yeah.
And we're not like mad at you, Jonathan, because you got to live where you got to live. It's
Yeah.
all cool.
I
Oh, that's not
got
true.
you.
Okay, Curtis is a little mad at you.
Well, he was mad at me yesterday too, because me and Thaddeus were talking. What did he say about in our group chat about
Oh my God, you guys are
about the fucking
limestone
limestone,
water.
and we were like, "Fuck Maryland and their fucking limestone."
That's the whole
Christ.
Hagerstown area, man.
And it's like one.
Yeah, well, really fucking kidney stones. You're going to blame Hagerstown. My ass.
Yeah, Kate's mom's water tastes awful.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
see.
Fred,
That
shut
well
the
water
fuck
and drink
up.
it. It's just
You-
like, what the hell?
Oh my
I can't drink water up there. So I get all dehydrated because it tastes like crap.
Dude, and even like, because he grew up right down the street from me, so we were definitely drinking from the same fucking limestone encrusted fucking zones in fucking Maryland. So I'm not surprised at all that that's why he has kidney stones so bad.
Oof. Which, by the way, that was the first time I had met him. The second night he came up to see us in Frostburg, and I had never met him before. It was good to meet you, Thaddeus.
Yeah.
It was fucking... Dude, the fucking writer about shit himself because he didn't know he was there. I was like, did you see Thaddeus? And he like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude, he just walked by.
Oh, and shout
He's
out to
outside.
Ryder for coming out to both shows.
Holy shit. And fucking Pappy Clevenger.
Pappy
Oh, yeah,
Clevenger
let's-
coming out to both shows.
Send out
Of
a
course, he's the roadie,
special merit award to fucking Clevenger, because that fucking guy, not only did he come out to both shows, he was in like a lot of fucking pain at both shows.
Yeah.
Because he had like a really fucking bad case of gout, and he was still fucking sirring everybody and fucking carrying shit around. So
making
He's
sure
a
we were
moron.
Yeah.
watered, hooking us up. Curtis throwing
I mean,
his
I love him for it, but
Curtis throwing his notes around and him running behind you to pick him up so no one slips on
okay,
him.
so I have to tell you that it was my fucking favorite part about show fucking 2.
Oh, that was awesome.
was I had printed cue cards, but we didn't use them in Baltimore. Baltimore did not need cue
Yeah.
cards.
No.
Because it was a fisticuffs for some of the songs. But Frostburg, we could use them. And I was we were spelling out song lyrics, I guess. But as I was fucking chucking them, Clevenger's chasing the motherfuckers around trying to get them up off the floor. And it was funny. And after I realized he was doing it, those bitches went further and farther. It was so fucking funny.
Damn. I didn't even notice him doing that at all.
Oh my god, dude. He was
like
like
a ninja.
skirting behind everybody and all around,
Yep.
getting the fucking letters.
That's why he fucking rules.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so awesome.
I got your papers, sir.
I love him.
I thought it was awesome. Some girl took our fucking set list. Or
Oh,
guy.
the second night. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
A first.
Yeah, they took our set list. They took everybody's, I think.
Oh, but nobody has ever asked for our set list before, like ever.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment right there.
I don't even
like
know
the
if any of the bands have been in.
Deaths was on a fucking pizza box lid.
Yeah, that was funny.
I almost took their set list, and then when I did finally decide I was going to go grab it, I think that person you're talking about had already got it.
Yeah, I think it was a couple. Like, I think they were like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
But yeah, they were
Right,
taking
right.
everybody's set list. It was fucking funny.
Well, so
That was awesome.
yeah,
this just reminded me of something to bring up is, so what, like the days after the show, what were your internal family conversations with your kids about playing with us? Like, what was everyone's synopsis of the shows who are in the children bands? Like, what did they say about the shows? Like, what did they have to say about, like, opening for dad's band and like that kind of thing?
Do you want me to start or you want to start?
Yep, you looked like you had words.
Well, not so much the days following. The days following, my kids tend to go into their rooms. But right after we stopped playing, probably even before Jose came up and wanted to book a show with us again, Violet came up to me, my middle kid, and she immediately was like, that was awesome. And it was so good to hear, like, one of your kids tell you that what you did was, like, exceeded their, I mean, you could see it on her face. It was so far exceeded her expectations of what her dad could do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I love that though. That's exactly why I wanted to ask this question.
Yeah, yeah. And Thurston, my youngest, he came up and, like, did his, like, the little punch again, because he's kind of like, he's more physical, so he kind of punched me on the shoulder, like, that was awesome, that type of thing.
Gotcha.
So I could tell that he liked it. Ivy liked it, but she's a little more reserved, so she didn't, like, get super excited or anything. It was the other two that I felt really good about, but Ivy, I know she liked it. I know she did. No, I was kidding. But the other thing I wanted to mention was, Gavin, I think, was excited, but super shout out to Cooper actually showing up. That was like the blew Kate and I away. It was like, oh my God, Cooper showed up. We haven't seen him in years. She didn't even recognize him at first.
Stash.
Yeah, with his porn stash. That was pretty awesome. And he didn't look like he. The reason I knew it was Cooper is because him and his friend showed up, and it was like, who's this dude wearing khaki shorts? Wait a minute. He doesn't fit here. That's Cooper.
That is so funny.
When your two kids told you these things that they told you about dad being way cooler than they thought he was, like, had they ever, like, said anything to you like that before, or was this kind of like a first time you really got some props that weren't like dad related, like they saw you as like someone other than dad?
Pretty much. This was the first time that they saw me as someone who could be a performer. They knew that I had done it in the past. They had seen pictures of me in the various bands that I've been in, and I really wish, like, a little over 10 years ago, the Pelton Men, my first band that I was in, had a reunion show.
Yeah, I watched
And
that on
wish that-
YouTube, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Hopefully it was okay.
No, it was awesome.
But they were young enough at that point. Actually, it was the same weekend that Kate's cousin was getting married, so they were all up in Hagerstown, and she rushed back to see the show. So they missed that one, and I wish that they had been able to see that one too, because that was a pretty big show as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that it was nice for them to see this one, and I guess if they had seen that one, they may not have had the same reaction to this one. So it was probably better in the long run that they only saw this one.
And they were way younger at that Piltdown Men reunion too, so like
way younger.
Probably would have had a way different perspective. Because I mean, they weren't
totally.
even really playing music yet and stuff.
They weren't even into like that type of music. Yeah. Like they like Ivy, I don't know. I'm not even sure what type of music they were listening to at that point at all. Like, I know that it wasn't, like, they didn't regularly ask to listen to
The
CDs
Wiggles.
or anything. Yeah, well, they were just past the Wiggles, maybe, but they were in that in-between stage where they weren't, like, listening to any bands, hadn't discovered anything. We didn't have any streaming services at the time. So, but they weren't asking to go, and they didn't have friends who were loaning them tapes and stuff. So, because I had older siblings, I was getting stuff from my older siblings. I had some friends that listened to stuff, so I was listening to music at a very early age.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm glad that they like told you how they felt about seeing you play. I think that's cool that they had good things to say, and like you said, I'm sure that made you feel pretty cool that you're like, oh. I've been doing something that my kids are into for longer than they've been alive, and they like acknowledged it. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I know what Ivy said. Ivy did have a comment, and she said, "Oh, we could tell that you are actually a musician. That you're not just hitting notes and going along. You actually know some of the theory behind it, and could have like counter." Because that's one of the things I was working on. Even back in the day, I was working on it somewhat, but more so when I was relearning the songs, the counter melody, even on a bass, so that I'm not just straight up playing what you play an octave lower.
Right.
I'm playing something that is complementary to what you're playing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we love you, Fred. So how about you, fucking MC Baby Crusher? What did your fucking kids say?
Well, seeing my daughter work door
Well, that is true.
That's pretty
That is
sweet.
true.
Yeah.
for the first show, no. So I think we'd already come to, or just started discussing it beforehand, because Gavin was he was excited that we were even going to do it. So he was all in, and since I had a band, like everybody, they were all into it. I don't know if we actually talked about us as in Cravin Mooreheds or anything. I think he did some dig at me because he said I talked through my lyrics, because through fucking Heartbreaker I was done.
Well, yeah, last song.
I was like, fuck you.
Dead.
But yeah, no shit. But I think we'd already come to like this. There was a level of excitement, and I think Gavin, I kind of think they might have researched a little bit and kind of knew. Like, I don't think, like, Roach knowing fucking Pit Cleaner. Like,
Right.
they've listened to us and fucking watched whatever videos they could fucking find.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they were more ready for us. So however they all got up to do Shoot Doobies and fucking Snip the
that's
Glue
right.
in Baltimore, that was fucking funny as shit.
That
Nobody
was.
had any idea what they were doing but Blythe. But
Well, Gavin did have like a cool speech on the first night. I do remember he said some cool stuff right before they played their set about I don't remember exactly what he said, but he made a comment about my dad getting me into all this, so like being stoked to play with him and stuff like that.
yeah, and I think we kind of already had that moment, because I think it's more of it's been an entity in the house. They've grown up with
Yeah.
it. Not saying your kids haven't, but like the shirts, everything. Like Gavin fucking has one of the like original black, not the like original black and white ones that we got super cheap and just were fucking given out.
Right.
Like he has one of those. Like that's the way I kind of feel is like it's been around them all their life. And
Like seeing it live was just like the final chapter of like the book they've been reading forever anyway.
yes, yeah, that is a good way to put it, I think. Though I still felt like we had to fucking play our asses off to impress them. That's just me. Like I wanted to make sure that they weren't like, my dad is a big fucking fat turd and they can't get it done anymore. They're a bunch of knobs.
Can't get it done.
Yeah. I will agree, and I did a lot of, I didn't do the punching bag. I would go up and down the steps here, because we got a lot of steps at my house. I would go up and down the steps like 20 times just as quick as I could, just to build up the stamina to be able to jump around for, you know, a whole song and then be able to do it again and then be able to do it again. So I try and keep my heart rate up, you know. And specifically so, we weren't just standing there playing. I wanted to be able to jump around at least partially like I could 20 years ago, so that we would be almost as exciting as to watch as they.
Yeah, no,
That
totally.
makes sense.
My goal was to move around more at these shows than I did back in the day. I was trying to overachieve.
And you did. You brought it.
So but I think now I'm gonna have to watch the fucking video because I think we threw down.
Yeah.
I think we did our job.
Well, on that note, how did everyone feel after the shows physically? Did you have some recovery time? Like, did you feel fucking beat up a little bit? Or no?
Yes.
You did. Okay. I felt a lot better than I thought I would feel.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, it took, and I think we talked about it at dinner, like the week following, that
Right.
it took like till like Wednesday to kind of come down off the high or kind of life, like falling back in the track where we still weren't running on all fucking energy. It was like, all right, we're back to the grind.
Right.
Life is looking at this computer screen, and here I go.
Yeah, that's totally right. Because, you know, I've worked for a company where I do just like you, just look at a computer screen and was just like, well, I have to do this? This is boring. I mean, what the hell?
That's cool. I'm glad no one had any kind of significant pulls or strains, so that's good.
Yeah, and
No.
your throat was okay after taking the old dildo. I mean, singing real hard. The throat stretching.
Oh my god. It's as good as one could expect.
Did we
Once
talk
again-
about the throat stretching or was that the drive up to? Was that the drive up to practice that one day that we were talking about the
It
throat
was
stretching?
a drive to fucking
Oh.
practice.
Man,
I forgot about that.
I don't know. I might have to reveal that one on a later date. I don't want
that might be too special to just bring up now.
Yeah, yeah, you can't just throw that shit in at the end of the fucking...
Yeah. Censor.
So, beep. I thought it was awesome that our biggest podcast fan came.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who's the biggest podcast fan?
The under 18 largest podcast fan. How about that? Vice one friend came with her to
Oh, is that? Oh, I didn't know. who that was.
Nicole came with her, and she was like, she actually listens to the podcast. So shout out Nicole for
Oh,
being part of that fucking under. Actually, she might be 18. Yeah, that's a whole other fucking debacle with that show.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's something to discuss.
Wait,
Jonathan, you may
yeah.
have missed
Before we
this.
shut this fucking down. So as we are getting there, and I assume it was my two that kind of triggered the, oh shit, they're young. Is the owner of the bar in Baltimore came up to us and was like, hey, this is all supposed to be over 21 unless they're children of yours and they're over 18. We're like, what? Like, when the fuck did this happen?
I've been to like many bar shows where it's just 18 and over. I thought that, you know, you just mark off on the hand, don't serve this person, you know. That.
Yeah, so he totally, like, I think, honestly, he did his due diligence. Like, hey,
Right.
can't have it. And we're like, okay, well, it was a little
Yeah.
fucking late.
And
But
I'd been to a couple shows there, and each of those shows, I know there was kids well under 18 at the shows, so he's letting things slide.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't important. We played, everything happened the way it was supposed to.
Right.
All the people we needed to get into the show was in the show already, so it didn't.
It did.
No burning, but it definitely threw a fucking rock or a wrench in the fucking plan.
Yeah, I mean, it got a little squirrely there for a little bit because I remember like overhearing that was going on. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I'm just fucking going outside. I don't want anything to do with any of this.
At one point, he called me over to the bar, and there was this younger girl and I guess her boyfriend were sitting at the bar, or at the far edge of the bar, so not where the drinks were, but close to where the stage was. And he said, "Come here, Fred, come here." It's like, "Yeah, what's up?" "This is your daughter." "Okay, hi." so obviously she was underage, but suddenly I had a new daughter.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And after we played, she happened to be sitting not too far from the same spot. So I went over to her and said, "Sorry you had to see your dad do that."
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh my God, that's awesome. All right, on that fucking note, we can wrap it up.
Sounds good. Well, yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we got to talk about all that and rehash some good memories.
Yeah.
Good times, good weekend.
It was good to have a podcast with you, Jonathan, since I've done it with Curtis and with Gene.
Whoa.
I'll have to bring Gene back again.
Oh, we've got a special fucking mission for fucking Gene. Don't you worry about him.
Oh,
He's on assignment.
He's on assignment.
Yeah, he is on assignment.
And we're inching closer to fucking episode 50. Oh,
Which is going to be a really special one, actually.
very
yeah.
special after school episode.
Yeah. Very special guest. Very special content.
Oh my God.
Very special announcements will be revealed.
More special announcements.
Oh my God, there's all kinds of specialness. How can we get more
Yeah.
special than fucking Cravin Mooreheds getting to iTunes?
Uh,
Fuck, I don't
Jesus.
know.
We might shut that shit down.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me preface all that by saying that I haven't actually... I've got everything set up to load it to be distributed through digital services. I don't know what red flags may occur. So, well, because so this is something, this will be the last thing we'll say. One thing I had to do a couple days ago in order to prep all the songs is I had to go through and listen to every song individually from beginning to end just to confirm which songs are going to be considered needing to be labeled as explicit or
I was
not.
gonna ask that question.
Why would you even do that?
Just label them all that way.
Well, that's what I thought, but I was like, well, I'll just like do it the right way at least, because I was even just kind of curious, like, because I wasn't sure like if you say ass, if that counts as explicit. So anything that had anything remotely questionable, I just marked as explicit. But believe it or not, we have like a lot of songs that aren't considered explicit.
Like pull it, that could be anything.
Exactly. Well, no, that is definitely not one of the songs.
Oh my God, that is funny.
I do have Pull It marked as explicit. Blood Fart is marked as explicit.
What?
Blow in the O is marked as explicit. And then, yeah, a lot of the older songs are more of the...
Wow.
Explicit.
Secret 7, I actually thought was not explicit, but that one is definitely explicit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, now I'm going to have to think about it.
Yeah, you're the one who sings it, man.
Well, yeah. And I had the coolest fucking shirt.
Yeah, oh my God,
Well,
yeah.
That is true.
I guess that's one last thing we can discuss is how awesome that shirt was. We had all ordered these jerseys so that we'd all match.
That's right.
And
Fucking assholes.
they fucked yours up, Jonathan. They got it backwards, right? Back to front or something like that.
Yeah, they printed it backwards. Yep.
What happened to Matt's? Did anything happen to
No,
Matt's?
Matt's was fine.
Yeah, it just came.
It was just too
That was
long.
just really long.
So now he's got a halter top.
Yeah. So Kate cut
Yeah.
it down to a halter top for him. Mine was fine.
He turned it into a Dorf shirt, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, but yours, Curtis, never showed up in time.
No. Fuck it.
So you had to make one. So you'd
So I
stand
made a
out.
Secret 7 one.
Yeah.
And I think next time we play, those are going to be our merch.
Yeah. Yeah.
The secret
Bach,
with the
Bach,
bach, bach,
Bach.
bach on
Oh
the
my
back.
god. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't believe that you were struggling to think of why Secret 7 is explicit. That upsets me. The Colonel's got chicken. He's got fucking
Oh,
chicken.
right. Yeah, okay.
Got
Well, if you
fucking
ignore
chicken.
that part.
Well, yeah. I thought it was funky chicken.
Yeah. Choruses do count in whether a song is explicit or not.
And Curtis didn't think of it because he doesn't sing that part. You sing it as the backups, right?
That is true. So, Fred, don't fucking take up anything. Don't give credence to anything he says
Oh
ever.
my god.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well,
This has been fun.
good chatting with you.
You too.
And see y'all next time.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Adios.
Later, guys.
Woohoo!
This podcast was brought to you by Potty Mouth Records. Contact us at pottymouthrecords@gmail.com and find us on the web at pottymouthrecords.rocks. That's .rocks.
Top that, bitch!